What's up, everyone? It's TV, and we are back in my game Sky Reacher. Today, we are going to be replacing the thumbnail with a brand new island that we're going to build right now. So I'm going to build a brand new floating island. This is like the starter island. I already took down some stuff, but we're going to make a brand new floating island that you could use for inspiration. You can even rebuild this yourself if you want to copy my island. You're always welcome to copy my stuff. Go for it. So if you missed my video yesterday, I did announce the build contest, the 100,000 Robux build contest. So if you like building and you think you got what it takes to win a lot of Robux, make sure you go check that video out. So this is the grave digger shovel. This thing like a machine gun, man. Look at, you could take stuff out really easy. Now we don't really want to take this out because it's already here and I kind of need it, but we're going to take this stuff out. So it just looks a little bit more dangerous. We want this to look real dangerous. We also added this recently. Let me get my axe, my pickaxe. Actually, we'll use my crimson fang because I like it. It looks cool. It looks like a DV pickaxe. Let's get rid of these flowers. These grew overnight. We have offline growing of flowers. If you just haven't really been paying attention to the game lately, you can grow flowers now on your island, and there's different rare ones. You got like sunflowers are pretty rare. And we're not going to use this one. We're going to use the classic. We got to use the classic because it looks cool. So we'll use the classic portal here. I think it looks really cool. I like the purple. We need to have like a red one. We need a DV portal. Who thinks we should have a DV portal? I think we should do it. Maybe I'll make it so you can get a DV portal from me. Be like a red version of this. Tell me in the comments below, should we add a DV portal? We did talk about doing like TNT eventually, but I don't know. That sounds laggy. We don't have to be perfect with this part. Man, that looks bad. Let's fix this a little bit more. I think it needs to have like, I don't know. We'll come back to that, but I think that's a good start. We just need a little bit more shape right there and stuff, but we'll come back to it. All right, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it so that the portal's in this corner. So let's build from here. That way we can have a really cool view of our island. And we're gonna put this in Photoshop just so we can plan this out. I already have a layer here. Let me just add another. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some kind of like rope bridge to this. There's some kind of bridge going on here. This will be our farm. So we're gonna have a little plot here with our farm. I think this is a nice void area to put like a little tree thing, kind of like a tree floating island. So we'll have some kind of tree here. And this can have a bridge down, not really bridge, but like stairs. And then right here, I think we're gonna expand this out a little bit so we have enough space for like a really nice cabin. So we'll have stuff like kind of draping down on the sides. We'll have our cabin here, some kind of cabin. I don't really know what kind of cabin we're going to do yet, but we're going to do a cool one. And then I think what we could do is we can make another floating island back here. Maybe with like a windmill or something. We could do like a little windmill back here. And we could have another bridge or stairway. And then we could put like a cool tree in the back that kind of curves over my building, my cabin. You know, something like that. That looks like it's a work of art, right? All right, so we're gonna use this later. But basically, this is what we're kind of working towards. So we need a lot of space here, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. Builds do take a lot of time, so if you expect this is gonna be quick, this is probably gonna take me like 3 hours, maybe longer actually. Especially if I need more blocks and stuff. Let's go ahead and move that, and we're just gonna zoom out every now and then, just check to see how our sizing is going. But we need a lot more here, and we're gonna just build around this. So like we don't have to tear all this stuff down. We'll just build around it. And this is gonna have to go pretty far back, I think. Yeah, it's gonna have to go back like all the way back here. Let's bring it back a little bit more. We don't want it to be huge. Massive doesn't look good because then you got to fill space, and if too much space, sometimes smaller builds are better, especially if you can like tighten it up and make it super detailed. It looks way better. And this part's got to kind of round out because we don't want a box. You don't want to do like square islands. Square islands are ugly, okay? You have to kind of curve stuff. Learn to curve. How you do curves is usually you don't do like these all the way around. You do 2, and then you could do like a 3 gap like that. Let's see how we're looking. Yeah, it's getting pretty close. We're getting pretty close. We're just going to fill this side a little bit more, make it a little rounder. We're not trying to look for a perfect radius either. And when you're building, just build the top layer first. You don't have to like worry about the bottom part yet. If you have flight mode, even better because you can fly under the bit, the kind of the base plate that you're doing. And then you can build under it that way. Kind of dizzying after a while because you're kind of looking up and building, but it's not too bad. So if we're going to plot out our cabin area, it's going to be something like around here. We don't want to spend too much time because, if you start building it and you don't plan it, it's kind of hard to move it afterwards. Good idea to plan. Let's get rid of these flowers. I don't know why that's not turning into grass. But I think we're going to have a little cabin here. And then we're going to have something like up here. So let's go and get that ready. We're just going to plan it. We're just going to block it out. Make sure we have a good angle for the screenshot. Because again, we're building for a screenshot. We're not building just for like do a really cool build. I mean, that's part of it. But we are like building for a cool screenshot. So use free cam if you're, kind of planning your build. Free cam's your friend. All right. So it's going to be something like that. This is a good spot. I don't think we need to go any higher than this. Again, you're not looking for perfect circles. Just something to work with. We want it to be big enough because it's going to hold a pretty big tree. It's got to have enough root area. Yeah, something like that's probably good. Yeah, that's good. And we can get rid of this. See if that's going to be big enough. I think it will be. We can always expand out and stuff. So the tree's going to be back here. We need to increase that size. So it's going to be like filling up this space here. That'll come down. Probably have something like that. This feels like we need a better bridge area. If we were to build a straight bridge, it looks a little lopsided. The island does. So I'll just show you what I mean. So this is the current screenshot, right? If we're going to have a direct bridge, it's going to feel like there's not enough space around here to support that bridge. There's going to be like a rope bridge here. Let's just space it. It's probably going to be at least 4 blocks, even though we're going to use some vertical rotation. It's going to be something like that. So now you can see this just feels really, really wide out here and really narrow right here. So we just need to do something like this. So let's bring this out more. All right, that should work way better. Okay, so we're going to have a rope bridge that's going to come down here, and then we're going to have like a windmill like right there. So it's going to be a bit of a pain to get over there, but we're just going to get over there. Again, use free cam because it's not just for screenshots, it's also for planning. I think we're almost where we need to be for the windmill, just a little bit more back. So I'd say like a little bit back here, and then we're going to go up. All right, so now we can make our little island. This one's going to be a little bit bigger. Just because it's further away, we have to make it bigger, or else it's going to look really small. And you can make kind of like a rectangle at first if you want to. I like to just spam stuff because I'm impatient. So I'm not going to go like, yeah, it's perfect. I just go like spam, spam, spam and kind of figure it out. Like chaos first, clean up afterwards. That's how a lot of artists like paint too. You kind of just have to create volume before you can kind of refine. And this one can kind of go a little bit more sideways. We're trying to look for non like circular shapes. How you make an island. All right, that should work. And we can get rid of this path. Then we got to figure out like the stairs in a little bit. Stairs are going to be kind of interesting because they're going to have to go diagonal. Diagonal stairs are not easy, but they look the coolest in my opinion. But yeah, we're going to have to come down here. I think what we'll do is we'll make a little layer of a hill first. That's going to kind of be behind my cabin. This much effort on planning is going to save you so much time for your builds. A lot of people are like, I don't know what to build. And then they never really build anything because they didn't plan. It's just so much easier if you do a little bit of planning. You look at some references online, look at some Minecraft builds. That really helps too if you're looking for some cool ideas. Okay, so even though this is where my cabin's gonna go, I want to have a little bit of a hill to this just so it feels a little bit more natural. We're just gonna build around the cabin a little bit. We're only gonna go one layer, and this can round. It's gonna round like around here, something like that. Cabin's gonna go like around here somewhere. We're just gonna bring that out. Gosh, this is so much fun. I miss making like videos, just builds inside islands. Definitely bringing back cool memories. And our tree base is gonna be kind of like somewhere around here. We need to make sure when we're doing this, we don't block the screenshot, but I think the tree base is going to be like somewhere around here. Let's give it a little bit more space because we're going to have a stairway right there too. Okay, so that's pretty good. We don't really need to do a whole lot here yet. Let's start working on the cabin. So let's go look at our wood options here. Let's just build a little palette, see what kind of wood we have. So here's cherry, here's oak, here's pine, web's kind of grayish. We have ash, mahogany. Let's get our pine planks out. We have oak planks, mahogany planks, and I think that's the only ones I have. I only have 3. All right, let's get our sawmill out then. Make some more. Okay, so this is ash. Cherry is really bright. Web's a pretty good color. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that's kind of in between. I feel like, you know, I wish we had something a little darker than this, and maybe something kind of in between these would be nice, but we don't have it. So frustrating. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my cabin out of ash. And yeah, I think we're going to do it out of ash in that one. Actually, I think I kind of want pine planks. Pine planks will work really well. I think we're just going to make it out of these. So I need pine planks, and oak wood. All right. How much do we have? 900. Oh, I've got plenty of pine planks, plenty of oak wood, and not a lot of oak planks, but I can make some more of those. Let's make like something like that. I don't think we're going to even need that much. It's nice to have it. Next, we're going to need some stairs. We don't have enough stairs. Great. So we need to make stairs. So we'll make like 50 of those, 50 of these, pine stairs, oak stairs. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, so this is our palette here for our cabin, but here's the thing. I want to make sure I have some stone around it too. We do not have cobblestone slabs. No, dude. We're going to make them though, okay? We will make those. But for now, I need to see what kind of slabs we have. We only have stone slabs. A big rip. We have stone and stone. Actually, stone slabs will work. Make a bunch of those. Make a bunch of these. Make some of these. And those. Okay, that's a big rip, but that's fine. We can work with this. And our base is going to be based on stone blocks. All right, this is going to be kind of our base here for it. We're going to be like, I would say 7 wide. Yeah, so it's going to be like 7 wide for our actual building here. We'll put our door like right here. So actually, it's going to be more like right here. And we're going to use planks here. Go up 3. just so we can size this all. And this is going to be like kind of back here. There's going to be one right there. Technically, you should blueprint this stuff a little bit better than I'm doing. Bad habits. Okay, this is going to go back because we want some size to our cabin. We don't want it to be like tiny inside. We want to decorate it and stuff. I mean, despite the fact that this is for a thumbnail, I want to actually like use it. It's gonna be cool. In fact, we're gonna make it like a downstairs so you can like see all my like library and stuff. I can put like clocks down there, and I might make a patio like right here. That'd be kind of cool. Let's bring this out a little bit more so we can have a patio, something like that. And then we're gonna keep a little gap right there. Bring this back, and let's just put a couple beams here, because I think what we're gonna have is this is gonna be like a passageway through like that. So we got kind of like a layout here. This is like a walkway, so we're gonna have like stairs. We have granite blocks. Those would be cool, actually. I think we should use granite. That makes such a better like foundation outside. All right, I made 30 of those. It should be a little bit better. That looks so much cooler. Make some stone fences, because I think this would be cooler. All right, so we have stone fence. Put these up here. All right, so for this part, we're going to put these across. This will be in here. We'll just vertical it like that. We'll put these here vertically. Bring this up. This will go up. All these will go upwards. We're going to put basically just the planks on these. And then we're going to have some fences across this. Probably do something more like this. Get rid of these. And these, we kind of need like a patio area. So we have to kind of go back a little bit, because we're going to want like a table here. Technically, we should make it wider. Look cooler. Then we can put some chairs down. So then we do something like this. Actually, we'll do this shape instead, because I think that'll look better. And we could put like flowers and stuff in here. Now, in order for this to look good, we don't really want our patio outside. So we kind of have to like do something like that outwards. So it's got some cover. We want a decent door here. Probably mahogany or pine. It doesn't look like we have pine doors yet. Man, why don't we have pine doors? So we'll just use this door. I mean, that'll work. It's not too bad. We'll just enclose it that way. And then we'll have like this overhead. We can put some lights back there too. All right, now we need some cobblestone. And unfortunately, our cobblestone does not have much depth to it. So we're gonna actually we're gonna tweak that a little bit. But we need more cobblestone in here. I like the cobblestone mixed in though. So let's mix it in a little bit. Otherwise, it just feels too clean. And we need some stairs. So let's get some stairs in. Put a little bit of stairs here and there. We'll go ahead and put some vertical slabs up here. Break things up a bit. And as far as stairs go, I kind of want to do, I guess we could do something like this. Add some of these here and there. It just makes it feel like rugged. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks so much better. Let's put some more fences up. Add a little bit on the corners. All right, so for this one, we're gonna go a little bit higher. We're gonna go up like this, and then it's gonna come out like that. And this will go up. We're gonna have 2 stories, and then we're gonna do something like this for our window. We're gonna put a couple of these lighter planks up instead of the darker ones, just to balance it out. Yeah, it looks better. All right, we got some corner stairs here. Cleans it up a little bit. Looks a lot better. Put some here. And we're going to put the fences just to make them come out a little bit. We can actually put some like lanterns on that too. That'll be cool. Okay, so we need to finish the rest of this side. We'll make a big window. And this should be actually like better wood like that. We'll do the same over here. There we go. Same for the back. And on the outside, we could put like a little bit of wood here and there. Just breaks it up a little bit. That way it doesn't look too clean. Add one of these rotations here. Kind of looks cool. Like it. Put it on the corners. A lot of it's experimentation. I like to experiment with my builds. Just kind of makes it more fun. Then we're going to put this across the top of these, because we're going to go dark at the top for the roof. This is going to stay light up until the rooftop, which is pretty much now. We can build upwards here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to raise the roof just a little bit, so when you come in, it's not so low roofed. Because if you come in here and it's just suddenly a roof, look how short it looks. It doesn't look right. And the upstairs, we're not really going to use. We're not going to make it functional. It's just going to be for decoration only. So that means we can pretty much start the roof like here, or the ceiling rather. We can trace this all the way around so that we have a higher ceiling. All right, so that's what it's looking like inside. It's not too bad. All right, so for these, we're going to go and start like that. And this is going to come down this way. We're making like Z's. You can see the Z here, Z there. Then we're going to go up one. And then we're going to do the Z again, but we're doing it towards the center like this. And then we go up one again. And then we do another Z like that. And then we flip it like that. And we do another one like this. Except this time we do that. So that gives us kind of like our cabin shape here. And then we're going to fill it inwards. We'll just continue that across. This right here can fill it in. Fill this one across. Crazy how like after a while it just starts really taking shape. First it doesn't make any sense and then it just gets cooler and cooler. Now this is of course going to come out more than I am. Like obviously this is going to like come out about right there. So we'll just go ahead and do that now so we can maintain our shape. Yeah, that's about where we want it. All right, so now we can fill in this side. We take a little stair here too. And we have some holes in here, so let's just go and fill those in real quick so they're not showing through. Okay, so now that we have this, we do need a center here for this side so that we can go through. And I think this seems like it. So 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be like right here. This is pretty much our center. That's pretty much where we're going to have to come back down. And so now what we got to do is just kind of have to do the same thing. We go from here. We're going to replicate this on this side. This one's just going to be a little unusual, but it works. Now we need to replicate the same thing on the other side. So as you can see, it gets a little short here and we want this to be pretty much squared over here. So this is going to get extended out. It's just going to be easier for us to finish it this way. And then what we can do is just cut this, like we just need to build across from it. So that'll be really easy. Let's go and finish this up though. All right, so that's done. Now we need to do the Z's. Figured we do this last just because it's easier. And all of this inside will be light. So this is looking pretty good. This needs fixing. I think this was supposed to go out one more. Yeah. All right, that works. And now we got to extend this side because this is going to look funky otherwise. So this needs to go all the way across. So that's equal distance. And how we're going to make sure we got the right measurement for that is we're just going to continue this all the way through until this looks right. Be just 1 over, and that's 1 over. All right, that looks right. And we just need to do our Z's. There's our Z's. And we just copy the other side now. All right, so we're going to go and put some wood here and then some windows. I actually like that it's indented a little bit more like this. It just feels like it has more depth to it and shading. So we're going to do that with all of them, including the front. Put the wood right here. This will go up. All right, so that's how that's looking. Kind of cool. All right, we got our cabins like kind of there, dude. It's really close. We need to make our stairs a little bit more pointy, something like that. And then we need to add one more stair and then we're going to do that. So we got these and then we just add a solid block like this. It just gives a little character to it. We'll put I want to put a lantern on these two. And I think I'm just going to put a little point at these corners. Something like that. And that way we can have some place to put our lanterns. That looks pretty cool. I don't know that I like these being so close to it. Yeah, so let's get rid of these. We'll put these in the yard. That looks better. So that took me a couple hours, way too long, but that's fine. Let's go and start on our bridges here. And I think I'm going to curve it. So we kind of want to go down and then back around to here. So let's get stairs out and we just need to continue to curve it towards where we want it to go. This is probably one of the most challenging aspects of it all because you kind of need to shape it while trying to make this look good. And then we need to get our slabs out. All right. That's kind of what we were going for. And so I kind of think it'd look even better if it just kind of floated a bit and was shaped with the island like it was intentional. We'll just do that. Looks cooler. And what we could do is we can add a little bit to the bottom of it to give it some structure. We need some fill on it. And we can add some fences like under it. Give it a little color. All right, let's go and make this a little bit bigger because the stairs are going to overpower it. We don't do that. All right, it should be good. So I like how this area is filling out. It's gonna look better when this is like an actual island with a tree on it. And let's start building. This one is gonna be a little easier because it's almost straight across. All right, there we go. We got our V, and it's pretty much gonna be like that all the way down. All right, we're just basically doing a combination of 3 things right now. It's essentially like stairs and planks and slabs. So like what we do here is we're just going to flatten it out a little bit. So it's like little stages of flatness because we have distance. If you have distance, then you can use a lot more slabs. Use a little bit more here. Now we can pretty much just do this all the way across. And then I'm going to actually do something a little different here. I'm just going to build it back upwards. So we have like a little area here, a deck, and then we need to build under it a little bit, but not too much. So you can't really see that from the angle, but we definitely want stuff under here. And this one's going to be a little easier because it's straight across. I think we're going to make this grass on top. That looks way better. Now what we need to do is we got to put wood across. So I think we're going to use a combination of stairs and slabs here. And we're going to do a little bit of this to kind of break it up. So otherwise it looks kind of bleh. It's good to do stuff like this to make the bridge look more interesting. All you got to do is rotate it. Stuff like that works really well. We'll add these on the corners. And we can use this. We really need more fence colors though. We want to add these. Okay, now we got to go slab it. All right, we pretty much did what we needed to do here. So now we need to come up. So let's bring these back up and we're going to need some stairs. All right, this is looking pretty cool. So we just need to go in a little bit more. Another set of stairs. Actually, we'll put some more slabs first. All right, we got it. Nice. Let's put a couple of these fences up. All right, now let's put a bit of a wood walkway all the way through. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, it doesn't have to be connected, but it's definitely going to feel like intentional again. And we can add some slabs here and there, get a little depth. All right. It almost looks like dirt. Actually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this a little bit more wild looking. So we cut into that intentionally just to make it a little bit more interesting. We're going to add some bushes around here. Tree is going to be behind this place, so we need to build out on that. All right, this is enough space for our tree. Okay, I think right here we're going to put a little pond. Not too big. I also need to make sure we still have space to be able to walk. And then my windmill. My windmill is pretty easy. I already made one in Sky Reacher, so like the one in the lobby is from me. So we're just going to reuse that. Except ours is going to be a little smaller, but still, we're going to use granite if I have enough granite. I don't have enough granite. All right, we're just going to use stone. So we're going to go 5 up on these, 5 up on this one. Going to be about like 3 high so we can get our door in there. So go out 3. And then we need to put some wood on these corners. So you're getting kind of like a crazy tutorial here. I'm showing you how to make a windmill. You didn't even know. I didn't even say that inside the description. But now you know. Okay, we're going to seal these up because these are windows. And we don't have a lot of stone bricks. So we're going to swap this out to just like regular stone. Cobblestone, actually. That works. This is just filler. So we're just putting these on the top so we have something to put our stairs against. But it's also going to look cool inside the interior. And this one we're going to use oak stairs. But I need more oak. And these are going to come out this way. Just around it. Like that. We're just fencing this all the way around like that. Let's get a cobblestone layer in. All right, this next one, we're going to go right here. Our windmill is going to get smaller. And then this is going to go right up in the middle. Let's build these outside right here. Make a little doorway. And then we need cobblestone. Again, this tower is for aesthetics only. You don't need to make this small of a tower. And then we pretty much replicate what we just did. And then planks again. And that's a pretty good sized tower. We're going to do a little higher. All right, and then we need to do one more layer. This time it's only going to be like, we'll do maybe 3. So we got another layer here. And this time we're only going to go up 3. And right here is going to be our center. So let's go and put a wood block right there. And then our stone bricks are going to go like right here. But we need to go something like this. Just making a triangle. And this could just be continue up the wood. We don't need to do anything fancy with this. All right, so I'm going to tell you the easiest way to do this is just to go diagonals. So we're going to just go, I'm going to say like 6 or 7 out. We'll go 7. That should be 7 out. So just take these out. Yeah, that's 7. So we're just going to go 7 on the diagonals. And we got to do the same over here. Okay, so we got our X, right? So now what we're going to do is we need white blocks. And I don't know if I have enough to see if I do. I have neon white. Oh man, do I have enough dye? I might have to go buy some. 3 white dye. Yeah, let's go buy some white blocks. We're going to go to the Citadel and we're going to buy like 100 of these. So you just go over here to the market and then you're going to see Gideon's blocks right here. Buy blocks. And we need like 100. So let's just get 100 of those. So how this is going to work, it's going to be 3 down from this one. And then with a gap. So you're going to put a gap here. There we go. Pretty much 3 up like this. This last one's going to go up to be equal to the height of this. Now this one, going to start at the 3rd block. And you're going to go across like that. Get rid of this one. We're just going to go 3 across from this. So you never touch the block itself. At least for this style. It's this particular style. You can do whatever style windmill you want. There's lots of great Minecraft builds you can get inspiration from. And now we just go from there down. And then this one's going to be across from the inside. And last block there. There we go. We almost have our windmill. I just forgot to do one thing, which is the stairs here. So we're putting stone on these corners. Okay, so we got our windmill. We got our cabin. Now we need to do our tree. I've done lots of tutorials on how to do trees, but it's been a moment. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use a darker wood for the tree base. Yeah, I feel like we need to do pine. That looks really good. This is going to be interesting because I've not done one of these in a while, but I remember how to. The key is to do a single branch first, and then you add to it. There's our base shape. Add some roots here. And how you do that, you gotta rotate sideways. Yeah, that should be good. I would say like 5s are really a good standard for your builds, by the way. Like odd numbers are your friend. Looks so much better. In order to get this tree the way we want it, we have to remember we need to curve it. We need to be able to see it. So it needs to kind of come up, but curve to the side. Because what's going to happen is we're going to curve like that, and then we're going to go out. So we're probably going to go like 2 or 3 more blocks up right here. Let's say across that. We can start moving it. Let's just get our overall curve going. Yeah, this is doing it. See if that's the direction we want to take. So we're going to go about like we're going to end it probably around here. So we don't really need to go much higher on that. Basically like a little steps up, something like that. And then what we do is we come back and we do the opposite side. Now this one, we can't go too far to that. We can't get too close to it, but we're going to come out because if it's straight like that, it's going to look goofy. It's gonna look like pixel art. So you kind of have to go diagonal with it. And so we got one there. We're gonna need to do another one to fill the back. And you gotta remember, this is how like trees grow, right? They kind of get like weighted a little bit, and then they continue to grow as it gets weighted, and then they kind of come back down. So trees don't really, generally speaking, unless you're talking like redwoods or some really strong, rigid trees, like they don't grow the way a lot of people draw them. So we're just pretty much trying to add like hands, right? Like kind of like a net. We can also go down. Doesn't always have to go up because it's like a painting. We got too much on the left. You'll notice too much on the left, not enough on the right. So let's extend that a little bit. We do have another tree that's going to be here. Yeah, that's kind of what I imagined. So we're pretty much going to fill this in. I'll probably put another one in the back over here. So we have some distance out here. That looks good. Now let's do the same over here. This one's going to be a little smaller. We're just going to kind of put a little tree here. Now that we got our base, we're just going to kind of go up, and then we can curve it a little. This one will have a little bit more structure. Since our camera's kind of over there, we're going to just put a little bit out this way. And let's fill this in again. And because we already did this side and this side, we're going to kind of change the direction of our next branches. These will be coming out this way. And this one will come out a little bit towards the house. And the bottom ones are going to be smaller than the top ones because they're newer branches. So the top ones should be bigger than the bottom ones. All right, that's pretty good. Okay, now we need to go and fill this guy in. So let's go and put a structure to this, kind of building around the main branches. We can kind of clean it up afterwards. So I see how I need to carve that out some more, because you build off of kind of like a shape. You're building off of a silhouette, because from a distance, no one cares so much about where your blocks are as much as they care about how it looks from a distance. And that's like night and day better right there. Yeah. Let's add a little bit more roots. And add some roots coming down for later. So remember to kind of mess with that a little bit more later. Okay, so we got our shape of our tree. Now we're going to go and shape. Since we're focused on shape, we're going to shape the islands themselves, and then we're going to fill in the trees. So the basic principle for this is just going to be, it's going to be real easy. So you go 2 to 3 down on the edges of your island here. So you can go like 2, and then you could do like randomly put a 3rd like that. You can also do a little bit of this at the edges, little step downs to give it a little bit of depth. Something like that. If you do that, make sure you go back down 2. So just going all the way around, put a 3rd every now and then. Okay, so we did the main island. We got to do it over here on these. So we're going to do the entire process at the same time. All right, so we added all of our dirt. Now we're going to switch over to cobblestone. We have a lot of that. And for the cobblestone, we're going to go pretty much same thing. We're going to go about 2 down. Sometimes we'll do 3. You just throw in a 3rd like that. We can free up some of these so they don't have to have cobblestone all the time. We do want to make it, you know, look natural. Keep it to the edges or corners if you do that. Like this doesn't need it. Okay, so we got the first layer of cobblestone on. Let's do these. There's the windmills. Let's get this one's done. All right, you can see we're getting some good shape here with our islands. Now we need to go inwards. This is where we're going to go about like, I want to say 3, at a minimum 3, sometimes 4 down. So we're going to go on the inside layer here. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4. But pretty much just doing the inside here. All right, so you can see that's what happens when you add the 4, sometimes 5 down. And we're going to continue to repeat that. It's just kind of random. All right, now we need to go back to like the 4 and 5 to get a little bit more of a point. Let's see how this is going. It's looking pretty good. If we want to make it a pointier thing, we got to do like 4 to 5 extensions at, you know, at each one, because we're going to get like a bit of a spire. You can kind of curve it down. You can go shorter and then you go longer. It can give you a nice like cone shape. Really depends on what you're going for. We're probably going to go more rounded for this one, but these I don't mind having a little bit of a point to them. You got to be careful with the shapes too. Like you kind of have to do shorter on the side so you can get that point. Otherwise you end up with this kind of flat effect. So in order to be able to get us pointier here, we got to go shorter on the sides, but longer in the middle. All right, that's way better. Okay, so now we need to finish this side. Okay, I think that one's good. Now we got to do this one, and it's going to be more rounded. Let's go ahead and convert this to cobblestone too. This looks a little funny. So another way to maintain shape for your island. So if you don't want it to get too far down, because, you know, obviously doing this over and over and over, at some point you're going to end up like way down here if you got a huge island. So what I used to do with islands is I would just do step downs. I'd basically make like a curve to set the bottom, and I would just build around to that. So for example, if I wanted my island shape to be like down to here, I would just kind of do similar to what I did with the tree. I would just kind of draw toward it. Doesn't have to be a perfect like step kind of, you know, setup. Kind of keep going toward it. I can build everything to it. It breaks up the monotony of doing this and it prevents you from going too far down. So you basically just create a bunch of supports and then it's going to make it really easy for us to kind of build around to it. All right, I got the main island done. It looks pretty good. Like I said, it's not as pointy. So now that we have that done, let's go to our leaves. So we have tons of different leaves. We got this one, oak leaves. We got mahogany leaves, cherry. We got all kinds. This one, let me see how this looks against the stone. I like that color. That's pretty nice. Check this one. That one's nice. That one's kind of bright. We probably won't use this one. So the main thing we're going to do with this is we're going to use these to create these like viney kind of drop-offs. So we're just going to kind of put these here and there. Very classic Minecraft kind of feels. And we got to make sure we don't put too many of them because after a while it looks cheese. Like if they're like bunched up too much, doesn't look right. Put one right here. Go and add a little variety here. Let's put this one. All right, let's start working on the trees because we kind of need that. But first, let's get our red blocks out because we have a ton of these. We have 1,500 of these. So we've been doing this method for a long time now. I'm just going to show you how it works. So the first thing we do is we like to cover the very top of all of these with some blocks. And we don't do all of it. We're just doing kind of like the branches. Now that we did that, we're going to basically go around and the very edges are going to get covered like this. We do want to leave a little bit of the branches showing through. So it's a bit of a cherry blossom tree kind of feel. So now we're just going to get lazy about it because we need to fill it in. Just kind of randomly click and place. We just need some volume here. But yeah, we definitely need to add more to it. We can almost auto click too. As crazy as that is. Using an auto clicker and just kind of auto click around. That actually worked pretty well. But let's work on this tree now because it kind of needs some love. I think when I come back to this tree though, I'm probably going to redo some of the branches just so that they're a little bit more refined. All right, so we got the other tree done. It's looking pretty good. Now you notice it's really dark. And like I said, I was going to add some light. So let's go and start working on those. All right, so we're going to need to add a lot of torches to this. I'm adding some torches inside because I think it looks pretty cool. I feel like it makes it a little bit more red. All right, island's coming out pretty nice. So let's get back to decorating. Let's add some of these around my tree here. We're going to add some of this around the yard. The bushes do so much for this build. We need some up there and we need a little bit over here too. Put some around the tree. Put some up here, but we're going to use a different color for up here. We'll use mahogany leaves. And we'll add a pond, and I think we're going to use cobalt for the bottom. We'll see how it looks. Grab our water buckets. By the way, you can use a bucket. You can get water pretty much from any water source in the game using an empty bucket. There's probably a better blue block to use under the water than what I did. I mean, it's okay. All right, we got some bamboo to plant too, so we can put some bamboo here around the map. We have some weeds. Put some weeds around. Gives our grass a little bit of texture. And this is going to be our garden, so we got to get the weeds out. Now, I also have vines in here. Let's see what we can do with vines. I've got so many of them. So we can put them around. Put a couple here. Don't need too many of them. All right, now I want to add a fence post here, and we're going to make a lantern. Gotta get a little lamp here. There's our hanging lantern. We can add another one like over here. Put it right there. So we got some hanging lanterns. Let's get some glass in here. I only have clear glass, but that'll work just for our windows. We have like rocks. So we have like pebbles, I think. Yeah, let's get some pebbles out. Put some pebbles around. We have lotus flowers, so let's put some of those on our pond. There we go. Now we got to make a little farm. So we're going to make like a carrot farm here. It's meant to be like for looks, not for mega farm. If I wanted to do a big farm, like I wouldn't really have a cool looking island. In fact, let's move this back a little bit. I think what I want to do is I want to make it a little bit longer. This way I could do something like this, where I've got like little farm sections of 4 at a time. All right, we got our garden. Dude, that's cool. And then on these corners, we can add like little torch things. So we're going to plant carrot seeds here. Carrots look cool. And then I think we might make a corn farm in the back here. And then maybe peppermint. Do I have enough peppermint seeds? And then we're going to put torches in here. All right, we need some more torches around the map too. Put a couple there. We'll put our workbench right there. We should put a couple wall torches on like that. That looks cool. Got a wooden crate we can put out here somewhere. It'd be kind of neat to put it next to the garden. What else do we have? We have a bunch of other decoration blocks. Let's see what we got. We got a furnace we could put out. We can also put a cauldron out. Maybe some chests. Chests would be cool. Put a couple of these out. Put a cauldron out. Add one of those. All right, now we are ready. We are ready to finish this up. So we got our garden. Everything's looking good there. We can add some more bushes around it, but we need flowers. Let's apply some flowers around. We got tulips, lilies. We have some snapdragons. We also got poppies. We got so many poppies. We got so many flowers here. All right, so our island is done. This is going to be the new thumbnail for the game, at least for a while. I'm not sure for how long, but I think this build looks pretty good. Pretty solid. We got our windmill, lots of flowers. Oh, that's not normal. But hey, maybe you'll notice it. Maybe you'll notice it. I'll leave it in the thumbnail just for you. I'll probably start decorating the interior later. Technically change our portal if we wanted to. I'm just going to show you what the flower portal looks like. This one's kind of cool. Doesn't really fit with it though. We've got like, we have a frameless one that's kind of neat. Flamelet's kind of crazy. I like that. That's cool. I might leave that one. That one's kind of cool with the red. Yeah, we're going to leave that. Now let's look for a good skybox. So this is the default here. Default's kind of cool. It doesn't really contrast well with the island though. But it looks good. You got ancient, which is a little, no, don't really like. I like it, but I don't like it for this build. You got pink sky, too pink. Cool, but too pink. Underworld. Dang, this does not look like it would live inside this environment. Storm, one of my favorites. Just doesn't really cut it. Doesn't feel chaotic. Above clouds. That's pretty cool. It's just too busy. It kind of takes away from the island. There's Obby. Similar issue. It takes away. It's too distracting. Black hole is going to be too space-like. Halloween is going to be too dark. Aqua's underwater. Polar Express might be interesting. Let me see. Oh, that's kind of neat. I think it's going to be too dark for a screenshot, though. So we come back to ice. I guess ice is going to have to be it. This is going to have to be our thumbnail. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this one. I had a lot of fun making this build. I'll probably make more builds in the future. Until next time, happy grinding. Peace.